Second, making photo cutting. Third, we can make pattern making, right? Fourth, like layouting. So these are all the things now we can able to do with our present knowledge. So let us move to the next higher selection tools. So we have done with the selection tools like Lasso and all magnetic. Then we have seen some of the things like quick selection. Okay, it helps to do the selection as per the color into consent, but it will make just like a brushing. The method of working, just make the brush, add some of the area of similar colors. Then yes, if you need to get select the flower, no need to get select the flower, just reverse area we can select and go for inverse selection and the job is done. So you can see how fastly the photo selection can be done. So here we have got an idea. Selection can be done much more faster with the higher tools, but condition apply, it should have color contrast. It should have color contrast. Then only it works nicely. So hope on the two screen you can see now. And here Windows. We can switch to the F7 button, and we can hide the behind layers so that you can see like this is the photo has been cut up within very less time. And now we can able to change the background. Yes, we can bring the other photograph. Okay, as if like in the previous knowledge we do have like how to get arrange them beside to each other by arrangement and three vertical. So you can drag this information and place there. So what you can see, this is on the front side, we can drag and drop to the back side. So here we can see now the background get changed. Yes, we need only this much of area, rest of the things doesn't require. Then yes, we can switch to the rectangle marquee tool and get this much of area get select, and we can ask to the software a simple command called in the image menu called cropping. So the selected area will get cropped and the job is done. So hope we have understood now how to change the background of a particular photograph after cutting. Is it okay? So here the things of learning is like how to make a selection faster with the help of which tool? Quick selection tool. And what is the method of working over there? It is just a brushing method. And what is the condition? It works nicely over to a particular color. And if we are selecting something extra, then we do have an option called subtraction, and we can able to get it subtract the unwanted things. So addition, subtraction, and making selection is done up, and we can go on adding extra portions. Yes, within 2-3 clicks, and the job is done. So it doesn't require to make the selection to go with a lasso tool or polygon tool or magic magnetic tool. So yes, it works, but it takes more time. So you can go on the edge of the clip. Here we wanted to click, the software will go on clicking. It also works as well the color sensitive. Only we need to move on the edge, and wherever we required, like it is forceful to be get apply, click over there, then hold the alt button and click there. Then it will turn into a polygon lasso tool. And yes, if you feel like it is to get draw, yes, we can start up drawing, then it again convert into immediately to the lasso tool. And the condition apply, here we are holding the alt button on the keyboard, and the time we are releasing the alt button, then again it turns into magnetic lasso tool. So hope we have understood now how does the selection could be done very easily with the help of magnetic lasso also. But condition, the subject should be in color contrast. Hold the alt and get the polygon to get activate, and get it again, release the alt, and again magnet comes into the picture. So this is another way of making the selection with the help of your magnet. But what we have seen in the quick selection, it is a very faster way to do selection. If the subject is of single color, then just go on brushing the things and get the job done. Now the next, inside the selection bunch, we do have again wonderful tool called magic one tool. As if the word, the work is so, it works just like a magic. One button click, job is done. But condition, it should be a single color background and it's nearby tint. So here the tolerance will get, if tolerance is 0, then wherever we click, only that particular tones of the colors get selected. If the tolerance becomes high, then similar range of colors get selected. So hope we have understood now what is called tolerance means. Tolerance is the strength of the tool. Along with it, it start of selecting the nearby color. If blue, then light blue and dark blue. The range of the colors is selected by the tolerance. So you can raise the tolerance and get the selection to grow more. Now the next option over here is called contiguous. If it is off now, that's why wherever this color is get selected, even it is connected or not connected. But if you don't need to select this, then you can switch on to the option called contiguous. That means we are asking to the software, you just select that particular blue or that particular colors which is connected to the click position. Then you can see now it is not selected. So what is the two button we have understood inside the magic wand? Tolerance and contiguous. Tolerance is the strength, and contiguous does it to be get select the uncontinue or disconnected pixels or not. So if it is to be get select, get it off. Job is done. So hope we have understood now how to make the selection in one click and get it reverse and make your subject to get select by select inverse. So this is one of the fastest way to do the selection. Is it okay? Now picker tool, we can pick the color from your screen, and at a time you can select two colors to get it arranged on the foreground and background color. Then hold the alt button and click. Then what we have seen, the color comes to the background. Normal click will bring the color onto the foreground. So two color can be picked from the screen. Yes, we can able to exchange it by X button or in the keyboard, or else click over here. The color foreground will turn into background, background will turn into foreground. So hope we have understood now how to use this eyedropper. Is it okay? Somebody are getting? Hello? Just a minute.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm just taking a little faster. If it is somewhere get stuck, make me stop and get it review once more. Fine then. So hope we have understood the eyedropper to pick the color from the screen it is used. Now, beside to that, we can find a tool called crop tool, which is there in your mobile, right? Mobile, if you're taking some photograph and you're cutting it up from the edge, that is called crop tool. And the hotkey is C. But here the crop tool does some extra things, in in mobile we find the crop tool will go inside the photograph, but Photoshop crop tool is capable of going outside the screen. Then in outside the screen, what it does means it will increase the canvas and get extra portion to get sold. So that is the use of crops going reverse way, right? Anyhow, we can able to crop it off inside, but we can go outside also to make the canvas size to get increased and making a bounding box. This is one of the use of your crop tool in a reverse manner. Fine. If we are satisfied with the crop activities, then we can go for enter button, and if you are not satisfied, then go for escape button. So it will make you away from the crop. So crop, hotkey C, and to get it confirm, enter button, and discard, escape. So hope we have understood now how does the crop is working. Now we can able to make it transform from all the sides, alt shift and drag it from the corner. Yes, we can able to make it crop. Job is done. And now, once the crop is over, then you can able to shift the position of your photograph by moving the cursor inside the crop zone. Then it allowed us to move the image. If you are outside the image and you are trying to move the image, then it will rotate up. So nothing to get worried if something happens like this. Then crop tool works to move the image inside the crop zone only. It will make us show a move tool and it get it moved. But the time we are moving outside, you can see a inverted V mark. That means it allowed to get rotate the image. So this is a 2 point to take care into this sense. Now, how does people use this crop tool to make a commercial purpose use to get their food and butter? So let us see in the example to make a passport size photograph, right? So often you find it has been hanged off a poster inside the photo studio, like 1 minute service, like 60 pieces, copies, 60 rupees, something they are writing. And they commit to do it in 1 minute and that does it in 30 seconds. How does it is possible? Let us see. The same Photoshop they are using, and in a commercial way of using this crop tool and the pattern together. So let us go for a practical use of the thing. So now we have seen here how to change the background, right? So now we can do background changing, right? Background change. Now the next point, get it over, close it up. So what we are trying to do, make a passport size photograph, and we know what is this crop is doing up. So now we have used the crop tool without measurement, but with measurement we can able to do the cropping. So we can fit the number here by moving the option called size and resolution. So if anything to be get print, then we need to take the resolution, a technical terms, which is 300. So now note down a technical things. Resolution, what is resolution first of all? Resolution is the number of pixels per square area in your screen, that is called resolution. So how many pixels are there on the square area, that is that particular photograph's resolutions. And this resolutions to be maintained to make the quality to come up. The minimum resolutions to be maintained on print is 300 pixel per inch. And if it is something for television screen or like a screen presentation, television, mobile or anything, then 72 pixel per inch. So now got to know what is print resolution, what is display resolution or screen resolution. So this is to be get maintained to get the best quality. Fine. So now got to know two things about here. What is called resolution and what is the minimum resolutions to be get maintained. So these two are clear now. What is resolution? Number of pixels per square area is called resolution, a technical statement. And what does it mean? What does it does? Number of pixels becomes more, the information becomes more. The information becomes more, the quality becomes more. Then conclusion, resolution decides the quality. You can see in a mobile like 10 megapixels, like these are like in a particular square area, how much megapixel is again the different concept, but resolution is number of pixels in a particular square area. It gives the information to get more. Let us see what happens if you are making something goes reverse. If you are making something in 72 resolution, it will look nicely on the screen, but the time it goes for print, we can find dot 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 dot. So that will be a problem. 72 resolutions pixels. If it is go for print, then it lose the quality. But yes, sometimes in 72 pixels are also used for print, but where they are used, whenever the hoarding is to be get present at 10-20 feet height from the human height, then yes, we can use low resolution pixels also. Because the distance we cannot able to find the gaps. But if it is to be print on the wall which is touchable, then it is must and 72 resolutions. If it is something for photograph to be print, A4 size print and 300 resolution is recommended. So now we got to know some technical terms and their practical use. Let us move to the cropping. Now, what is the task we are doing now? How to make a passport size photograph in Photoshop. This is the task going on. Now, first things we need to make a storyboard. To make any practical job, yes, we need to make a storyboard. The width and height of the photograph to be mentioned first here. So like 45 millimeter, and I'm just taking a dummy size. Okay, it's not fixed because every passport size vary from place to place. Your college passport is different, even visa passport is different. The size varies, but I'm just taking a dummy size 45 by 35 mm. Width, or else you can get it reverse, the height to be get more and width to be less. So you can get the width to be 35 mm, height is 45 mm. So this is what we're looking for, like width 35 mm, it is 45 mm. So unit is must. It is to be taken care. If something goes cm and mm, then it make a big difference. Okay, 35 mm is very small, but if you convert that into 35 cm, then it's a very big things. So it is to be taken care while making a design. And the resolution 300 pixel per inch. So this is to be get maintained. So let us move on to the screen. So what we can do now, make the things to get change the unit first. Then width already we have worked out 35 by 45 and 300 resolution. So now get it okay. What happened now? The crop turns into a particular size, and that is 35 by 45. Even we are making it small or big, the final output will come 35 mm by 45 mm because we have fixed the size. Here you can mention 35. Now it is the time to get fix the position of the photograph. How to fix the position? By dragging from the crop zone, not outside. It will rotate the things. So drag it up and get it fixed. Job is done. And get it a little smaller also. Make the character to place proper. Now it is the time to go for press enter. So now we have find the photograph is 35 mm by 45 mm. Is it okay? Hello, Samruddhi? I
Yes,
get it.
sir. It is
Fine.
okay.
Now let's take this selection, and after like 35 mm by 45 mm, get a stroke around it. Which color? White color. And inside it should be there, not outside, because inside the stroke should be there. Let's take 10 pixels white pixels border. So one passport size is done, and we know how to make the pattern. How to make pattern? Edit, define pattern. Job is done. Now the client is asking, I need 10 photograph. So how to make 10 photograph? What is the canvas to be taken? So you can see the math. We can make the 10 photograph in this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. Then what is the width? 35 into 10. That is called 350 mm. The height will be the same. What is the height? 45 mm. And the resolution remains the same, 300 pixels per inch. So now the canvas should be how much? 350 mm by 45 mm. This is width and this is height. This canvas to be get done. So let us take a new canvas, and here you can also mention first millimeter, and we have already done the math. 350 mm by 45 mm, and the resolution to be 300. Now the canvas is ready. This is the canvas where we need to feed the photograph. Now we know how to feed the photograph by the fill command. Fill, which is to be filled, pattern to be filled. Which pattern to be filled? The last pattern which we have created. Go for OK. Job is done. So we have understood how does the math is working on the backend. Instant. It takes hardly like 5 clicks, and they commit in 1 minute. They exactly give the output in 1 minute. So this is what this service they are doing, and using the Photoshop in a commercial way. Now, then very next challenge comes. It will go for print. After printing happens, then what will happen? They'll put a scissor over here to cut the things. That scissor may go this side or may go that side. So it is again a trouble. Client will not approve that. So how to get a mark exactly in the middle? So we can do the same job. How does we put in a white mark? We can put a light color gray mark. So we can switch to this photograph and go for Control A to select all the things and ask for the software to make a stroke. Which color stroke? Gray color strokes. How much thickness? 1 pixel thickness. Where to be placed? Inside the photograph. Get it okay and make it as a pattern. So this could be filled inside the final output. Control D, switch to this and ask to the software, get it filled. What is to be filled? Pattern to be filled. Which pattern? Last pattern. Why? Because you can get a gray mark in the middle. Job is done. So hope we have understood now how to make a commercial art with time into concern. Fine then. So we have understood now how to make passport size photograph in Photoshop within 3 button click. People are using commercial, and they make their food and butter, and the whole infra runs with this business. Photo studio business, major business is this. Now let us go for the next section. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So the next, sometimes the client may ask you, Like I need one, two, three, four, five to be black and white, and the five to be color. Yes, client demand in this way. Already you have learned about the layers. Like go for the layers, or else you can able to get this much of area to get select how much photograph you need to be black and white. Now ask to the software, get it fill the color. We know fill the color is there inside the edit menu, and go for which color to fill, white color to fill, but in which way? Not directly normal. We can switch to this saturation mode. Note it down. This makes a black and white photo immediately. What is the formula? Fill the white not in normal mode but in saturation mode. Get it? Okay. Job is done. So hope we have understood now how to give to the client 50% black and white and 50% color photographs within very less time. So the same field knowledge, the same pattern knowledge. Now we got to know today how to make a new canvas with measurement. What we have learned? New canvas with measurement. So one of the practical use of the crop tool. So where the crop can be used of. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Photo collaging is a big business. Charisma album. You can see the costing, like how much cost they spend. Like it's a commercial discussion. Like for a wedding ceremony, only for photography, they spend 5,000, 10,000 only for photography. And Photoshop takes a major role. After the click is done, then rest of the things, collaging and all things are done in Photoshop. So that is a practical use of this software. So this is used in various industry. I'm just talking about Photoshop in photo industry, but it is used in web industry also and advertising agency also. Fine. Now the same crop tool. So let us move the second application of the crop tools. Okay. So whenever you've done some works, don't save the work. If it is original photograph, what will happen? The original will go off. So revert is a command. It brings back the original photograph till the time it has been last saved. So what is the command we have learned? F12. F12 is for what? Revert. Revert means what? To bring back the last saved image back to the screen. But in the middle somewhere we have placed Control S, then that will be become the last save. So the conclusion: if you are working on original photograph, then don't save it up. Then original will get lost. So get a duplicate and do the works. Then there you can save and do whatever like. And the revert will help us to bring back the original until the last saved one. Even we have gone for 100 steps, doesn't matter. Within one command, we can go back. So here we have seen the crop tool has done a passport size photograph and we have made it up. Then what is the things you can do? Never go to photo studio henceforth. So you can able to take your photograph on mobile and make a passport size. Only take a printout. That's it. The same thing they are doing. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Fine then. So let's move up here to the same. I have just taken a little pace, take a speed more, but hoping you are getting the things. And let's go to the crop and now get it unconstrained. So here last crop measurement will be there. To get rid of this problem, so what you can do, get again back, discard, cancel this, make a selection, Control A, and now hit the crop. What happened now? It takes the selection as a crop zone. So deselect. So now we have seen the fastest formula how to set the crop to the whole photograph. What is the command? Control A and activate the crop tool. So here we have seen now how to make the crop to fit to the screen immediately. If some other measurement is prior there, nothing to get worried. Control A is a command and C is a command which make it active. Then Control D is to get deselect and escape to get away from the crop tool. Fine. So how to give a congratulation message to the photograph? Sometimes we need to write congratulations. Now we have seen the two use of the crop tool. One, it helps to make photo cut. It helps to make bounding box, and you can able to increase canvas. Increase canvas. The use of crop tool. So I'm scribbling roughly randomly on the screen, but yes, as a commercial artist, we can able to make it to note proper. So one, two, three, tool, hotkey, and practical work in the real time. So let's move. See, crop tool. Now drag it down, and while dragging down, we can take the color of our choice. If we need white color to be in the down, then inside the background we should have the white color. Then drag it down how much you want. So we got some area to write some note without damaging the photo information. So the rest of the secondary use of the crop tool. Then after the client needs a bounding box, then yes, you can take this crop tool and hold the Alt and Shift button, drag it up a little. So we got a bounding box also. So now the photograph is never damaged, and we have find a bounding box to put a message on the down, and the area is there. So this is the next application of the crop tool. So the tools remain the same, but how creatively the artist is using, it does matter. Is it okay? Now the
Yes.
crop can be done in 3, 4 different way. Now the first method we have seen the crop tool. The second method, yes, if you need to have the crop this much of area, with selection also you can able to make the crop by going through the option called image, crop it up. So crop can be done in two different manner, either with the selection or by the tool. Hope this is clear. But inside the selection, you can able to go beyond it. So let us find it out. Does it happening up? Press the enter and let's make it crop. No, it doesn't happen. But this could be done with this tool. Drag it outside and find the crop done. So multicolor bounding box can be done up. So how to make multicolor bounding box? Yes. Over to that, if you need to have a yellow color, you can choose the yellow over here and get it okay. Take the crop tool, drag it up. Done. So how many colors we want in the bounding box? You can have to place it there. Yes. If you need to have a small black color over here, yes. Make a stroke of black color. Alt yes, and get the black color. And 10 pixel. So hope we have understood how to make bounding box, get set the cropping, get the photograph ready to go for print, or like in any social media presentation. There also it is required. Now, get the selection and get it to cut off some of the area of the selection here. Either you can able to make subtraction or intersection, and here got the steps. Fill the white color. D is a command which makes the foreground and background color to turn into black and white. D is for uh, like a default. So this is a button or D is a command. And fill the white color where the white color is background. And background can be filled in the screen by control backspace. So hope we have understood how to fill the canvas from the other side. Now the same selection could be placed to the top. So now the reverse way of doing. Here we can take the polygon lasso tool and get the common area out by selecting like this. Fine. Now the common area means this area you need to cover. So the software understood this is the common area. Now fill the white. Is it okay? How to make a collage. So the whole screen is under your control, like what you want, you can do it up. So it create a illusion of the cuts and photo is inserted there. Fine. So hope we have understood how to make photo collaging or like photo framing things proper. And so hope we have seen a number of use of the crop tool. Now I'll go beyond this. And the inside tools are very simple. You can start taking the ruler as if the name the work is, so it start finding the distance in between two pixel on the screen, and it will display the length over here. And note tool, if you need to write something regarding this particular photograph, like this is a photograph which has been asked to do this many works. So because sometimes what happen, while in the practical table of the designer, the client comes, various client comes on a single photograph, they ask us to do a lot of job. In the sense, let us see a client's talk. How does the client will talk? I need the first penguin to be in red color, second in green color, third in blue color, and make the sky to turn into blue, not blue, like reddish tint. Make the ground something else. So he talks very fastly, and we also understand easily. But the time the client moves, we forget what is to be done, which color where, right? This is the practical problem. At that point, who is going to help us? Before, people used to type down all the things in the notepad. So we can use a notepad and click number one, what is his task, all the things could be written over here. But it takes double work, like you need to open the notepad, again open the photograph, see it up to. Rather than taking this much of trouble, they have created a note here inside the software. Just one button click, and we can note down whatever we want. And regarding cutting, one. Regarding color correction, one. So for a single job, we can take multiple notes also. It is for our convenient, and we can mention the name also here. So what it is about for cropping, what it is about for color correction. So even searching becomes easier regarding the crop. Have a double click and color correction. So they are like extra helpers, like which helps us to do the things, and easily you can also recognize by changing the color on screen. So how to get open? Yes, double click, then that related things will come up here. We can read and understand the things. And by looking to this itself, we can also see this is color corrections by color or by note over here. So they are like extra tools which just like your eyedropper, how it is picking the color, it helps to make us to understand the things proper after the client moves up, or it is a storyboarding kind of things. Before story before start working, we can make a storyboard over here, what is to be done, and it save along with the photograph. So whenever we open the photograph, it will be placed beside to it. So now we have understood what is the practical use of this tools, note tool. Now the next counter tool. Sometimes it is very difficult to remember, and if very huge number of like product are there on the screen and it is to be get remembered, then we can able to use the note tool. Note tool help us to recognize the things. So this petal has to be red, this is to be green, and this is to be blue. So while talking this, it is understandable, but after the client goes, you cannot able to find out what is that petal he is speaking about. Yes, red, green, blue, okay, but which is red? This is red. So who is helping us? The counting tool is helping us. We can put a counter over here to recognize the things, and we can increase the mark and the level size. So these are like extra things which is there in Photoshop to make practical work. While we are making practical work, then it is very difficult to remember all these informations and do the artistic work. So at that point, it will help us. And we can able to hide this. We can show this. We can create number of groups. This is one group, and the second group we can take the new group over here, and we can change the color also, and we can start putting the extra numbers. So which can be, we can shift to any things we want, that one or this one or both. So hope we have understood now how does the counter tool is helping us to find out or remember a particular place on the screen. And then after we can hide, so switch to anything, make the color change the size of the number, change the size of the marker, and if it doesn't require, we can delete that particular group, or we can delete everything by clear. So now got to know how to make the counter tool to help us to find out the things. Is it okay? At a stage we have understood now eyedropper, ruler, note tool, counter tool, crop tool. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So crop, counter, note, picker, ruler. These many tools we have done, and we have seen some practical use of this particular craft tool and how people are using it in a commercial way. This end up your the first bunch of the tools, which is there to help us to do the selection, and the rest, the down, is creating tools. Here more artistical work will be done up, like painting and all things are done over here. It is not more related to the cutting, but it is more related to creative arts. So we'll switch to the most beautiful tool in Photoshop is brush. You can search in the net called matte painting, digital painting. If we are interested in that particular sector, then this is a wonderful tool called Photoshop brush. So what are the things you are watching on this screen now? It is the complete output of the Photoshop brush. Photorealistic painting can be done with real lighting and shadows. So this is not photographs. This is completely painted by the artist, and it is possible in Photoshop. And high paid salary are there in the market. The demand is very high, and yes, finger counting people are there. So there is no competition at all to this sector of the Photoshop. So Photoshop sometimes makes small jobs like visiting card and all things, but the higher side is this digital painting landscape. So what are the things we are seeing on the screen, like movie like Avatar and all things, that all backgrounds are fantastic background generated in the brain of the director, and it has been created by the Photoshop artist. High paid salary are paid because this brings the moods and feels of the story. So hope we can able to understand before starting the tool what is the impact of the tool and how does people are using this tool in various way that we have seen over here. And this is a artistical approach where not only the technical skills, artistical skills also required, like light sense, shadow sense, perspectiveness, color sense. All these things are collide together to form this particular designs. So for a single image, the market value I'm just telling about, like they start with 500 to 15,000 rupees for a single image, the charge. So that much of costlier the field is. Fine. So my goal of speaking all these things because we can able to understand like what we are learning and where it is used and what is the potential of job availability in this sector or the work availability. So fine, but it is not a thing of one day or 1 month. This output, whatever you are seeing, is 4 year, 5 year, 5 years. They revolve around the brush tool. Fine. If you are taking interest, then we can go in depth, but it is not required for everyone. Yes, but yes, we are looking something like to go in this way, then we can go for specializations in this sector. Yes, fine. Just before starting the tools, we have introduced this, and I'll cover up to maximum things as far as your interest into concern. But there is awesome. Fine. This a single tool brush hotkeys B. It does have 60 hotkeys. That many detail it is there because you can see the output how depth they are making, and the charge is that much also. Like so, make me aware like wherever you feel stress, then we'll make it light over there. Okay, is it okay, somebody? Hello, 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now, as if you got to know, the tool is brush, and the keyboard shortcut of the brush is B. And the first property of the brush is the size, and you can able to increase the size by giving a right click and switch to the option called size. So in this way, you can able to increase the size. So you can see the size of the brush get increased. Now, the second property of the brush is hardness. Before going to the hardness, let us see what does the size does and how does it looks. Now, once you are okay with this size, then press the enter and get this window to go off. Now the next, brush always paints the foreground color. Whatever the color is there in the foreground, that will be painted on the screen. Yes, just have a click, find the brush has painted the foreground color. Now the next, the second property of the brush, give a right click and switch to the option called hardness. 0 is there, make it 100. Now see, this brush size remain the same and the output becomes default. The reason behind it, before it is 0% hardness and it is 100% hardness. So now got to know the brush can able to play on screen in two different way, with hardness, without hardness. And the third thing we got to know, brush paints the foreground color. Now the brush size can be increased and decreased by the right click with the slider, or else you can get it increase and decrease by the option bar, and here you can find the same thing. Now the next, neither by the right click nor by the option bar, but we can able to do through the keyboard shortcut. And the keyboard shortcut for the brush size is this two button. Can able to see on a screen, a digital keyboard is there, open bracket and close bracket are two buttons which increase and decrease the brush size. Is it okay?
Yes.
Fine. So let's see on your screen, how does the brush increase and decrease immediately. We have shown you the keyboard shortcut, and through that we can make it easier. Is it okay? Next,
Yes.
find the center point of the brush. Yes, you can able to switch to the caps lock button. Caps lock button is there on your keyboard, which makes the center point of the brush to find it out. We can paint it and you can see the center point and move it up and paint. Center point, paint. So we can see this beautiful design has been done within three button click with measurement, but without taking any scale or grid. It is done through the option called caps lock on to find the center point of your brush. Get it bigger, one button click, find the center point, next button click, and next button click. So hope we have seen how to make this center point to get it used on your screen. Next, we have just learned three options, and let us see what other things can be done up. So fill the color of the screen to turn into white to turn into black by filling the foreground color, and get it exchange. We know how to exchange the foreground and background by clicking up this button or the keyboard shortcut X. So few keyboard shortcut we have started with. Now the brush. If the brush is showing this mark, then make sure your caps lock is on. Get it off and find the cross side to turn into a circle mark. So the symbol of the brush is circle, but sometimes if the circle is not visible, that means your caps lock is on. Get it off. Caps lock allows us to show the center point. Now get the hardness to get down, and there are some predefined brushes are there. You can switch to the first one. By default it will turn the hardness to 0. We only need to slide it up. Now get it click outside of the canvas and it will go off, and increase the brush size, just one button click, the white color comes onto the screen. Now the next, give a right click and switch to the next brush, which is hardness 100%, and press the enter and get the size to be down, 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 and just one button click, job is done. So hope we find how to make a moon design within two property of the brush. So hope we have seen how to get the job done. Now the next is here, Lasso tool. We know how to make freehand drawing. Yes, get some mountain kind of things, landscape design, and get the foreground or background color to get fill up, because background is black. Hold the control and backspace. Job is done. So now find how to make the background to turn to background color to fill on the screen, and it create a landscape concept. Is it okay? Now
Yes.
it's all your artistical approach. Starting the same brush and get the size to be down, 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 and make the X to hit up to bring the black color to come onto the front foreground, and get this brush to be. So we have learned like how to make the canvas to get zoom, zoom, zoom. Hold the space bar, bring it onto the screen, and get the size to down, and make sure your brush is hard brush, and press the enter, and just two lines, rough lines, and control 0, fit to the window. So hope we have seen how to use the present knowledge to make a landscape. And depends. So how we imagine, that way you can go. Yes, everyone can do a design. No big rocket science. Every brain is creative and we can do wonders. Hope it is clear.
Yes.
Now let's switch to the same. Now we need to make it colorful. So select that much of area. We know how to fill it up. We can fill the color whatever we want. So take any color we want to get it filled over there. Just let us take some blue tint. Yes, lighter blue. Get it? Okay. But while you are filling this blue color, make the mode to turn into color mode. What is the mode? Color. Then it fills the color only in the gray area. Black and white will not touch up. This is the beauty. So hope we have understood now how to start the work with the gray color. Always take the gray. Gray is the skeleton of your color. Black and white are not the colors. This is the color theory. We'll be going in more depth about the colors while coming on the classes. But for the time, you got to know how to start the design and how to get silhouette kind of things. Then wherever you feel the glow has to come up, let the design to be turned in gray color and fill it up with the color, and the blending mode is color. So hope we have understood now. Filling the color can be controlled by the modes. And till now we have understood normal mode, another mode what? Saturation mode,
Hue.
color mode. Yes, hue is also a mode, but we have used three modes till now. And we have learned difference mode, right? Difference where black turn into white, white turn into black. So hope we can understand, like, it's not only the fill or color will make the changes. 26 blend modes are there, and 26 different approach of color methods there. So in every color mode there is a mathematics written behind it, which makes the output difference. And that is not only in the filling, but while painting also with a brush, this kind of things we can have to do it in later on. But here we have seen now how the brush with two properties changes what can be done. Is it okay? Landscape, make a crop. We know how to make the crop. Job is done. So making a small landscape can be done in this way. So I'll just scribble. No need to be more artist. If your art is good, very nice. If not, also doesn't matter. Imagination should be there. Is it okay? So how to collage the things, compose and collaging. So a character is standing over there. So if the background is brighter, make the foreground to be darker. So it makes the collage and make the screen to get separate, give enough space. We can take reference from the net, and yes, while doing it will come up. Okay, you can switch to the grids and make the screen to get under your control. Get the grid line. Rule of third, there is a rule of design. Rule of third, make it into two, three divisions, and get it 100%. Rather than inches, you can switch to the 100%, 100. So we can break down the screen. Rule of third is a thing. What does it mean? Like, these are all the points which is the major attraction point in any photography and all things. So we can get this information from the net. So while making photo collage, this could be taken care of. The horizon should be below third level, and this is the point where the eye will catch faster. We should avoid the center zone. So the cinematography, or like if you watch to any big budget movies, then you can find every frame they maintain this kind of rules. So it makes the things to look wider and bigger. So here we have just tried to catch a different concept to come over here, but it could be done specialized. So how to make photo collage and get the things to be done up. Fine. Just to have marked out like what is this point, and this is the eye catching point on the screen. Then landscape should be go below to the horizon. This is what maintain on the screen, and ultimately it make a feel of a little difference on the screen. Fine, then that's it for the day. So hope we have understood the before tools like selection tools, and we have entered into the brush, which is a creative tools. We will see in the next session with the higher option of it. Is it okay, Samadi?
Yes, sir.
Then fine for the day. I'm stopping the screen and I'll send you this recorded one.